Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo and welcome to my scrapbook table. I am working on photos today from the 9/11 memorial in New York City. We took a lot of pictures, but I've just chosen some for here. I'm not gonna do, it would probably take, I don't know, 5 double-page spreads to do all the photos that we took of that museum and the memorial, but I've chosen these because I think they're a good representation. And I don't think I'm going to highly embellish these layouts. The pictures in the journaling will kind of speak for themselves. This layout is for the Stick It Down Facebook group, and I'm on the double page design team. And this is our sketch for today, or for this month. And so you can go to the Facebook group and see what others are doing with this sketch. If you use this sketch, or there's a single page sketch, there's some card sketches, lots of challenges for you to join in. And so it would be great if you would hop over there and participate a little bit. I would love to see what you do with this sketch or any of the others. I like this because of the big title, and I have some dies here that I'm going to use. And I like that there's a large section here for journaling. I'm actually going to flip this whole thing completely around so that my title and journaling are here and this page is on the right. So that's what I am planning. Here's the photos that I'm using. These three, let's see. These will be cut in smaller pieces to go across the top of that page. All of those will be cut small for that. Then this will be the larger vertical photo that's on that page. I had 2 of this, and the other one might have been a little bit better, but it was taken from a lower level, and I like that you can see the outside and you can see the structure of this museum built around this. And so that's why I chose this one. Then on the right side, there will be this photo, and I'm debating whether to do 2. There's only 1 in the sketch, but I really want both of these photos on this page. So I'm mulling that over. And then the 3 horizontal ones will be this ladder truck. And I took a picture of the sign. I'm not sure if I will just cut that out and put it on there, or if I'll use the info for my journaling. I did the same with this one. This was a tower in the south column. And that will go there. And on the top will be this one. I could not get the entire quote in this picture, so I will add that in the journaling somewhere. So those are my photos. I think I'm going to use this alphabet set for my title, which I'm still mulling over my title. I have a few options that I came up with using ChatGPT. I'm going to use this piece of 49 and Market from Rust and Revs because to me that just really works with these. I wish I had 2 of them, but I do not. So I have to figure out how I'm going to use just the 1 page. I have this that I will probably use as the background. And I liked this. This is an old Creative Memories paper. Let's see. Her name was Nancy Odell. This was 2011. I don't know what this one was called. I guess it's just the Gratitude series. But I liked it. The colors work, but also I like the circles because to me that reminds me of a globe. And this touched people all across the globe. So I think those will be my backgrounds, and then I will use this. I also pulled out these 2 scraps that may come into play at some point. And so I'm going to go ahead, cut my photos, do any matting, and get the layout planned a little bit, and then I'll be back with a voiceover. I've matted all my photos. I've cut most of the letters that I need for my title, but I saved the last little bit to do here. I'm just using my mini Big Shot. I'm not sure what it's called, but that's what I call it. And I have a Stampin' Up! Alphabet there. It's nice and narrow. Not quite narrow enough, as you'll see in a moment, but when I do letters for an alphabet, I usually double cut 2 of each. So I tape them together with some washi tape, and that makes it just a little easier, because when I cut the second set, I can just pick up that whole thing and plop it down on my cutting mat there. Originally, my title was going to be 9/11 Remembrance, but that was too big for the space I had. So I ended up changing it, and you'll see in a moment that it just says remember. And I'm fine with that. I did layer all these up. Most of them were already done ahead of time. But when I layer letters, sometimes I cut them with adhesive on them. I did not this time, simply because honestly, I didn't want to get up and find it, and I didn't know where my two-sided adhesive was to run it through with them. So I'm just using my Nuvo Deluxe. I wipe a little bit of glue off the edges, and that's fine. So I have matted each row, or one row and one column of photos. I'm using this from Rust and Revs because to me it feels like the city. It has an industrial feel to it, and that's very appropriate for the feel of that museum and some of these photos, and I just wanted to reinforce that feeling on my page. I ripped the edges of some papers on both sides of the layout because that was a day that ripped a lot of things apart, and literally and figuratively. So I thought it was kind of fitting to do that with the paper. So I'm just gluing this down, ruffling up the edges a bit. These 4 are going to go across the top there. I end up putting this, yeah, that one goes there, and the staircase on the right. I end up getting rid of the photo on the top right because I have a smaller version of it that I think is actually a better photo. Though it's not as bad as it looks on screen. That it's just getting extra light there and glare. That's why it's looking so washed out. But the smaller one is a better photo, and it works well on the page. Since I used this red paper on the right, I wanted some of it to be repeated here on the left. I just had a small scrap of it, so I cut it in half and tore the edges and tucked it under here. I did a lot of journaling on this page. In fact, that's kind of the focus of the page. I'll read some of it, not all of it, because I think I would run out of time, but it says, part of it says, I can't begin to accurately describe this. Every bit of this museum was so well done. The displays are informative and quite moving. And then I described some of those. I said some exhibits have a sign posted informing visitors that what was inside was unfiltered and graphic, so I didn't go into those because it's hard for me to unsee things like that. The blue tiles on the next page each represent a victim of 9/11 and the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. The piece is called Trying to Remember the Color of the Sky on that September morning. And then the quote says, no day shall ever erase you from the memory of time, and it's by Virgil. I also told about the columns that you see there on the left-hand page and the bench one on the right. I put that in some journaling. And the ladder truck that you see. And then the staircase photo on the left. That was actually part of World Trade Center building number 5. And that served as an escape route for hundreds of people that day. And it was quite a surreal feeling to walk down the stairs that are beside that. Yeah, this was a very moving experience, and it was hard, but it was good, and I'm very glad we went. So there I'm realizing remembrance isn't going to fit. Even though I used really narrow letters, it's not going to fit. So I just rearrange, do remember, and there you can see all of my journaling. I didn't do any embellishments. I thought of maybe putting something in the gap there beside the R, but I don't have anything that's just right, and I just didn't feel like it needed it. So again, this is for Stick It Down. It was for the double page sketch. I hope you'll hop over there and visit soon and join some of the challenges. Here's the close-ups, and thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.